It's Shay Seeking from American Aborigines Unchained here on YouTube and in the Facebook group. Um, I just wanted to come to you guys with this quick little article. I just wanted to talk about this, right? So, um, I'm familiar with the area, okay? This is where the whole thing just happened with that shooting not so long ago, and it it's talking about the fact that I guess we'll just read it real quick, okay? It says the Kenosha School District is transitioning to online learning at 7 middle schools and high schools after 276 teachers reported absent on Monday. Now, when I told y'all about that whole thing that happened there, I told y'all Kenosha, excuse me, is one of them places where these people ain't happening. They blood run thick in that area. You know what I'm saying? And there's only a small, it's not that big of a city, and there's only a small area of so-called African Americans or American Aborigines. Okay. And it's a like a kind of rundown area, but it's not like the most crime ridden place ever, right? So I'm familiar with that. Kenosha County, Racine County, and Lake County, Illinois, right? But between all of those, Kenosha is kind of more grounded. Okay. So, um, oh, and they probably have the better school districts or whatever if you still believe in school in that manner, which again, if it's not going to be effective for our children, in our case, it doesn't really matter how good the school system is. We can see. Okay. So, anyhow, they're transitioning to online school. Now, it says the absence started trickling in Sunday evening, forcing the district to announce the switch in a 10:30 p.m. Facebook post. Now, I remember that there were some stuff on the news saying stuff about these people saying get our kids back in school. And open up sports again, which again, I don't know why, if people really believe with their conscious mind, with their mind, that this thing is the way it is, why would you see what I'm saying? You must subconsciously know that this thing is not as bad as they say it is. People keep thinking that I'm saying that there's no such thing. There's something going on. I think there's something on the spiritual realm and there's something on the physical that they're trying to combat with the spiritual realm with, okay? And we'll go deeper into that on other things. But again, of course, there's something out there. The flu is out there every year killing almost 90,000 people a year. So again, yes, there's something out there. And it's funny how we never talked about the flu, regular flu deaths that kill people every single year. This whole time we've been talking about COVID. So anyhow, if you believe this, why would you be fighting to do this? So they showed these displays on the news and everything, but it's funny to see that I guess the actual people were like, hey, you know what I'm saying? We're not having it. So it says, as of Sunday, the district was reporting 10 cases of coronavirus among its students and staff. Okay. I'm guessing they got this information to the people on the weekend. I don't know. And now it says, search and track coronavirus, whatever, in Wisconsin schools. Okay. Asked if, I don't know who, maybe it's this place, I don't know, whatever, asked if the absences were part of an organized demonstration against working conditions related to the pandemic. District spokesperson Tanya Reuter said that I don't know at this time. We are having to do some research. Now, I like the way that these people put this together because obviously that's what this is. Obviously, some people don't agree with this and they are maybe afraid or maybe just taking advantage of it or maybe just trying to show these people, you know, some kind of lesson by, okay, sorry. So, anyhow, Um, so the fact that they put this whole thing about they asked if it was an organized demonstration means that that's probably what it is. Even if they would have said no, that's what it would be. That's reading between the lines and saying, okay, this is obvious, right? So it says Kenosha teachers do not have to supply a reason when calling in sick. Reuter said beyond the 276 teachers, non-faculty staff also reported absence for Monday. So even non-faculty staff. okay? But Reuter did not have a number. So I'm thinking this has to do with maybe janitors or, other people too, okay? The Kenosha Education Association, the union for the district's teachers, did not immediately return a request for comment Monday. In a Facebook post in August, the union said it opposed the district's decision to offer optional in person or virtual learning after having previously decided to begin the school year virtually. Okay, because again, they did decide at first that they were going to go ahead and start the school year online, but a week, maybe 2 weeks before school actually started, they said, okay, forget it. We're just going to send them back to school. Okay. And I verified this by seeing children. Well, that's a different county than me now. I don't live in that county anymore, but it's I noticed that in our county, I saw children at the bus stop with masks on. Some didn't have masks with their parents with no masks. You know, none of it makes any sense. The bus driver had masks, But anyway, I took my daughter out. And so she's homeschooling now just because I've been wanting to do it. And this year would be a good time. If they want to play around with this thing, then whatever. I'm not going to take any chances and I'm not going to go ahead and comply with their game. So it just so happened I've been wanting to do it for a while and I have the time now, so I say. And there's no excuse. So I'm not dealing with it anymore. And plus there were some incidents that happened last year before they ripped the children out that have me like no. So it says here that we want our schools to reopen, but only if it can be done safely and with the proper procedures in place. The statement said many of our school buildings and classrooms are still in desperate need of resources, repairs, and updates in order to meet high standards of safety. So it's funny how, you go into a store and if a person doesn't have a mask on, they can get fined or they can get the store closed or whatever. But when it comes to schools, they're not really worried about that when kids are going to, no matter how many times you have them sanitize their hands, which again, once you keep sanitizing something over and over again, you're wiping away the natural dirts and oils that you need in order to keep your body safe to a certain extent. And so it doesn't matter. And, children are going to come home around this time of year with something and give it to everyone anyways. And, it's just going to be chaos. So, but anyways, they need some kind of spike or something so that they can then convince you to get the vaccine. And then also we think about the children that are of color, how they were saying that they wanted to so-called have children of color come back to school, or black children, so-called, come back to school before everyone else. Why would you want to do this? Is something that was said. So this is something that was spoken on, I think on Tucker, whatever his name is, news channel a little while back, that they were thinking about having so-called black children or American Indian children come back to school first, which would be ridiculous. And then what would that do, or what would that prove? What is in the schools, right? Because these people have been working on the schools ever since they've been closed last year, so-called cleaning them, right? So I still don't know what this mysterious spray is that they're spraying on shopping carts and all this other shit that we just see them doing it and you just think it's some kind of sanitizer, but really what is the shit? You know what I'm saying? So I just don't trust anything these people do. But anyhow, it says that Reuter said the teacher's absence impacted more than 3,600 in-person students, just over half the students' population of 7 schools. Okay. Bradford High School, Indian Trail, Trimper, Harborside, Lakeview Technology, Lincoln Middle School, and Ruther Central High School. Okay. Reuter said that the district found substitutes for fewer than half of the absent teachers. The district planned to combine classes or repurposing other staff. Okay. So anyhow, I just thought that was something cool because, this is what I'm just talking about when it comes to us mimicking things that are going on with COVID in order to demand a certain, I don't know, or to say, hey, you know what I'm saying? This is happening. So, since we don't feel so safe anymore with our children walking the streets, because it seems like people of authority, okay, we don't use white supremacy or white folks, you know, uh, I don't use those terms because I call it, like I said, foreign, because anyone that is doing these things and advancing because of privileges that they have from this stolen land, um, and a stolen story of a people, uh, you know, in my eyes, I don't know. I see them as privileged, right? Not superior or supreme to me. How can you be more supreme than those that are the direct descendants of the all, right? So again, a lot of people won't understand that because they're in religion or something. But again, come back to yourself. Self will guide you, right? And source will guide you from being connected and listening to that voice within. So anyhow, I was saying that this is something that we should consider. People are already always talking about, oh, let's not buy from this around Christmas, and that's not. People start shopping for Christmas way before Christmas, anyways. But except for me, I don't celebrate it. But why can't we do something like this? Why didn't we think to do, hey, if this is the case, this is going on with our people. They were throwing mud in our eyes the whole time we were on the shutdown about what's going on with our people and trying to put us in fear and panic and all this other stuff. Then, hey, I'm so afraid I don't want my child out because it seems as though people of authority can just kill or do whatever they kidnap, let's not even or mention the missing children in abundance, that yeah, I think you guys know I've been talking about this whole Divergent series because it's the first time I actually sat down and really watched it. And I'm on the last one right now where they were basically kidnapping all of these children and uh, brainwashing them and then reprogramming them. So again, there's stories of some things like this happening with mind control and brainwashing, even in the early 1920s, that people in the military in different instances have been using these particular tools. And then you wonder what happened to us and why we can't remember anything, and how everything is a lie and everybody is just coming to this truth right now. And then, just like breathing the breath or the air or carbon, and, we're talking about all this volcanic, these all this activity and things that are coming up out of the earth now, and for some reason this is not the first time that they wanted people to cover their mouths, and it seemed like more so people like us, because we have images of them with their mouths covered with metal or other types of materials on their face. And so it just makes me think, what are they trying to keep you from breathing in that may activate or get you to remember something? So I know this is going off subject for what we're talking about, but mhm, mm-mm. But anyhow, yeah, so I would just think that we would say, hey, enough is enough. We're not sending our children anywhere, because it seems that not just regular people, not just regular everyday white people, but people of authority are able to harm them or even take them somewhere, and they're coming up missing at an abundant rate. And so this will not happen anymore. We're going to just keep our children home, and then start something in your community where we can go ahead and get this done, and then see what happens. See? So again, I want to thank you guys for listening, and take care.